Can you hear me? Okay, good. So thank you so much for joining the event today. So I'm Sandeep Agarwal. I'm a solution architect at AWS India, part of data and AI team. And it's very exciting. I think when Mark and Hiren talked about what SC tables and has done in the recent past and how it is scaling up beyond what general purpose SC which customers have been using, right? So that's what we're going to talk about. SC tables was launched at reInvent 2024, and we are just 8 months past that, and we have seen a lot of adoption and testing being done by customers. So just quick raise of hands, how many are using Amazon S3 here today? Okay, good. And how many of you are building or have already built data lakes on S3? Okay, quite a few. Okay, good. So primarily, who have not built or they are still hosting their data lakes on other platform, we're going to talk about how, why, how, and what of Amazon S3 tables, why we built it. I think Mark gave a sneak peek into that, but we'll just dive a little bit deeper into that. And what exactly does it do, and how it integrates with other AWS analytics services, right, for our data lakes. And then we'll have Rajat, who will talk about how E6 data, both as a customer as well as an ISV partner, is able to scale and perform their lakehouse engine using S3 tables. So let's start. All right, I think Mark talked about it very briefly. Why we built S3 tables in first place? Because S3 tables, what we saw was there is a lot of Parquet data format customer was storing on S3, right? And we all know Parquet is a columnar file storage format for query optimization. Tens of exabytes of data was already stored there, right? And when we were analyzing the data which is stored on S3, we found out that a lot of customers are building their data lakes for the data analytics workloads. And when it was analyzed and we talked to our customers, about deep diving into what are some of the challenges they are facing when they are using general purpose S3. One of the key area which came out was the general purpose S3 throttling. We always used to get these customers reporting about 50 errors, 503 errors about throttling in S3, how would you improve it? So we have a mechanism in general purpose S3 to scale the performance, but how we can do it better? That was a real ask from the customers. Another challenge was different applications are using data lakes, right? And to security becomes very important. In general purpose S3, we store the data in terms of objects. Now, how do you control the security of those objects when there are different applications are accessing that for different purpose? That was another challenge. So security, again, is very, very important for any data platform, and hence we got that one of the challenge from our customers. The third and the very important was how do we optimize the cost? Because data lakes are growing from both as a structured as well as unstructured data, and how we can optimize that cost by overtaking some of the things which customers were doing manually, right? So especially about if customers have used Apache Iceberg to build their data lakes, three things are very, very important, right? So customers were running their all self-managed compute to do that compaction of the data, as well as a snapshot management. And there are some unreferenced files which needs to be removed from the entire data lake system so that the metadata and the snapshots are very easily managed. So these were the things for which customer has to run separate compute instances, and they were adding into that overall cost of managing the entire data lake. Primarily, these were the three reasons why we actually thought about making a product like S3 tables in first place. Now, at reInvent 2024, as I mentioned, we launched S3 tables. It's a fully managed Apache Iceberg tables for Apache Parquet data. But as Hiren mentioned very rightly, right, we also now support Avro and ORC formats as well, right? Very, very important. We made these enhancements in last 6 months or so. So using this S3 tables, which is a separate bucket tables, we call it a tables bucket, you can natively store your data in a table format and let S3 tables do the magic, which I'll show in a moment. But very importantly, customers has to think differently about how they have been using Amazon S3 general purpose buckets, right? So we have general purpose buckets, we have directory buckets, which is for S3 Express one zone. We have S3 table bucket, and now, as Hiren mentioned, we also have a vector bucket, which is in a preview. Now, how can you transform your data lakes using Amazon S3 tables, right? So first thing to address was the transactions per second, sorry. Now, in general purpose S3, you get around 5,500 gets per prefix. So here, due to which some customers reported about the throttling errors which they receive in general purpose buckets. So although we managed to transform the data lakes on a general purpose bucket in some way or format, but S3 tables really scale it to a new height, right? So S3 tables gives you the 10x transactions per second. It's a fully managed iceberg table. That means it provides up to 3x faster queries by taking 3 operations off the table for customers. First, it does the automatic compaction, right? So if you are storing your data using Apache Iceberg the lakes on S3, on S3 tables, it does the automatic compaction, it does the automatic snapshot management. You just need to enable the snapshot policies. And last but very important is the unreferenced file removal, right? A lot of time there are files which are lying there, needs to be removed because they are not part of any snapshot or any active data set. That's where S3 tables does it magic, right? So customer found it very useful that they are able to save that cost of entire running a separate compute instances to do this cost, or even the man hours, right? Their team sitting in the night scheduling the jobs, right? Very, very important. Now, also with S3 tables, tables which you create, they are first-class AWS resource. What does that mean is now you don't have to apply policies on the entire bucket or the individual objects level or a prefix level. You can apply policies on an individual table as well, which is very, very important, and from a security point of view, very critical. And we also, in the last 6 months, we came up with support of Iceberg REST compatibility, right? So you can use REST compatible third-party application like Flink, Trino, DuckDB to really read and write data into S3 tables, which will actually make it very scalable because customers use different data analytics platforms to really read and write data into Amazon S3. So they can use this S3 tables very freely with these particular third-party applications. Now, S3 table integrate very well with AWS analytics, be it Amazon EMR or your Redshift, Athena, or QuickSight, or Data Firehose. And you can also run your own Spark clusters as well and integrate with S3 tables, right? So that's the whole integration, how we have built in last 6 months after the launch of the service. There are a lot of enhancements, which Hiren also talked about, a lot of them here. So with that, I invite Rajat, who is a founding engineer in E6 data engineering team, who has worked extensively, we both worked extensively to bring this success for them so that they are able to use S3 tables both as a customer as well as an ISV partner. And just to add a little flavor, we are also working with them on S3 vectors, which Hiren touched about very briefly. So you will very soon see that we also go on a journey with how S3 vectors can work with S3 data, E6 data, right? So Rajat, over to you.